people that do like one thing and do it like a fucking machine over an extended long period of time, those are the people that like in 5, 10 years, it's compounding, compounding, compounding. And then all of a sudden, like they're uber successful. I see so many young guys fall into that trap, man. You know, where they're just drifting from like day trading to flipping NFTs to getting into crypto to drop shipping to like whatever else is hot. It's like focus
Right.
on one. 5 years will go by and you'll look back and be like, holy shit, like I'm a different person.
So, I mean, this is just out of sheer curiosity. How much time do you think you spend in your DMs every day?
Not a crazy amount. I'd say probably like half an hour to an hour a day.
Okay, and that's like you're mainly on Twitter, right? Like you're not really
Yeah,
doing content anywhere else, right?
yeah, mainly Twitter. Although like I started to like recognize the power of the personal brand and the power of like influence. You know, I don't sell a course. I don't have a Discord. I'm not monetizing it really. You know, whereas a lot of other people are. But like I'm seeing it in terms of like the ROI of like friendships and connections and networking and you know like exchanging you know sauce with other like high level like ecom guys that have like you know changed the way that I operate and changed the way that I run my business. And even like random like people will sometimes they may be like, yo, like are you like taking on any investors or like just like or like crazy opportunities? And I'm like, holy shit, like this is wild. So this year like I want to go deeper. Like I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to like maybe start a newsletter. Maybe like take the YouTube long form and clip it up and get on TikTok or I don't know. I still have to kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that I want to like really invest in because I mean the impact is just absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, especially seeing it. I mean, in your case, it's primarily through Twitter. It just speaks to the power of Twitter. I feel like maybe it's undervalued by a lot of people right now, especially in the
Def-
business world.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's
But how
interesting,
about you?
man.
How much time do you spend on your DMs? I'm curious.
I mean, yeah, I was asking you because sometimes, well, after I said the thing about the cold DMs, I started to internally feel a little bad because I do respect the hustle, you know, like I respect the hustle of people going out
Right.
there and like DMing people. Like that's amazing that you're willing to do that. But as somebody that receives a lot of DMs, like now
Yeah.
I feel like I hardly spend time in my DMs because there's just so much clutter that I have to go through. So I mean, probably the same amount, like 30 minutes a
Yeah.
day, trying to manage like you know my connections, I guess that I talk to in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I mean, you should think about maybe like putting like a VA or some shit on that, or like an appointment setter, or like I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean that's a great idea. Like I haven't done it up until this point just because I felt like well it's not gonna be literally me. But I have
Right,
been. I think it is smart though, especially if I tell them that they should just say that it's not me. Like I don't want to pretend to not be me.
right,
That's kind of
right.
that's where I draw the line personally. Like I try to keep
Yeah,
it
for
authentic.
sure. For sure. I'm just thinking like for some VA to just like sort through that noise and clutter. So it's like, hey, like if they're valid, like put them in the primary inbox and like Ari will like get back to you. If they're like, you know, noise, like throw them in the general inbox and like at least they get a response, you
Hell
know?
yeah. And I mean, I do have a site and I do get a lot of inquiries and leads and stuff. And I do have somebody that takes a look at those. But I'm definitely missing out on a lot of like DM stuff. It's just so
Yeah.
overwhelming that,
I
I
mean,
just
that's
haven't even
dope to
wanted
be
to
in that
take the time.
position. I mean, that's dope to be in that position though, man. And I'm not surprised. You're fucking killing it on YouTube, killing it on the
Thanks,
content
bro.
game, and obviously like in ecom in general as well. So,
Yeah, I'm
um,
just trying to
yeah.
stay locked in. I had a conversation with Harry the other day, the Beast of Ecom. I don't know if you know him. He's pretty low key. Um, and he's done like insane volume over the years. And it's just cool. Like I was like, what have you been up to these days? He's like, same old thing, bro. Just like in the trenches, just,
Oh
testing
yeah.
things, building these private label brands. I'm like, wow, it just inspired me in a way to know that he's just like going through the motions still, even after quote unquote making it. I'm very inspired by people that keep pushing it. So like it's not just about the money. It's like this discipline, and I think you alluded to that earlier.
Totally, totally. And I think like that though that's like the biggest marker of like success in a lot of ways. It's like people that do like one thing and do it like a fucking machine over an extended long period of time. Like those are the people that like in 5, 10 years it's compounding, 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 and then all of a sudden like they're uber successful, right?
Hmm.
The cats that are jumping around from one project to the next. I think Hormozy said something like this, where he's like, there's always like those guys that are like, 2 years away from like strike, or like 2 months away, like or like 2 weeks away from like striking gold. 50 years go by and they're still 2 weeks away from striking gold, and just like not the way to be. And I see so many young guys fall into that trap,
Hmm.
man. Where they're like they're just drifting from like day trading to flipping NFTs to getting into crypto to drop shipping to like whatever else is hot. It's like just focus, like focus
Right.
on one thing, and like I mean, if you put it in, like if you put in the time, you put in the years, you put in the sacrifice, like you know, 5 years will go by and you'll look back and be like, holy shit, like I'm a different person.
Exactly, bro. I think young people, especially, and like I know this because I've been through this, it's really hard to think about the long term potential of something. Like, because in the short term, it just feels almost like, like, it just doesn't feel like it's gonna, you can't imagine the scale that you can reach after doing something over and over again for a long time. And
Yeah.
I think we don't know that because a lot of people, again, don't talk about the journey because it's not like sexy.
Right.
But it's like Mr. Beast, for example. He was making videos for 10 years before he had like any sort of following, but people think he just popped up overnight because he knows like the secrets.